Yeah, other than the fact that I had fuck all tools, but I still managed to get it done. It's not hard.
No. And
but yeah, so she was like, I need to get your blacksmithing course just because I need to see this in action. I was like,
yeah, definitely. And yeah, it annoys me that at some point someone did that for the first time without a plan.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look, and you know,
brain...
apart from an actual sword, but making one out of wood. Like, you've got pictures, you could look it up on YouTube. It's not difficult to do. But I think more the fact that people are just unwilling to try.
My brain operates by, this is how it should look. How would I get there? This process kind of makes sense. Fuck it, I'll give it a go. And usually it works.
Yeah, it looks right. It's the same as the woodshed. I was like, I know what shape it's going to be. I know how big I want it. I got the materials and then just started.
Yeah, it just kind of came together.
And it's still there.
Yeah, you don't need to do like fancy fucking joints. You don't need fancy machinery. You just fucking get on with it.
No, and you use twice as many screws as what you think you're going to need.
Yeah.
So this is technically episode 2, although the first episode...
That's what the official people do.
Right. The first episode did get recorded, but the audio was absolutely trash. I couldn't hear Mitch at all, so it was me monologuing with awkward pauses in between. And so I deleted it, and that was probably about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So we're back.
3.5 millennia.
We're back. We're not sure if the average dick energy is going to stick. We might be transitioning to Triuangle Boyz.
Triuangle Boyz.
Because we're elite, firmly mediocre athletes.
Multi-sport athletes.
I obviously do have 3 stripes on a white belt in jiu-jitsu now.
Between us, we have 3 stripes on a white belt. And it's pretty serious. Pretty serious.
So yeah, I mean, we were just talking about people being relatively handy, and I don't respect anyone that can't make a fucking sword out of wood.
We were talking about people being inept at simple things like being handy.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what the weird whining, licking noises are, it's my dog that thinks he's a fucking lizard.
Speaking of lizards, Lizzie's dead.
Yeah, the lizard woman. Bless her. And then we've got the World Economic Forum narrator that's overtaking him.
Yeah.
Overtaking her. I don't know. The lizard inside Lizzie might have been a male. I don't want to assume genders.
How dare you? How dare you in this
I don't want to assume the genders of our lizard overlords.
Assume. They will not be pleased with you.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, what a weird thing. And then we had another female prime minister, which was really cool because she got in and the mainstream media said, oh, she got in because the Tories weren't ready for a brown leader. So she got in via racism, and then when she got chucked out because everything went to shit and we were all completely shocked, and she got chucked out, and it was, well, you know, maybe the Tory leadership just wasn't ready for a woman leader. And Theresa May's like, am I a joke to you? Well, one, yes.
Margaret Thatcher's in her coffin.
Yeah, exactly. Margaret Thatcher's like, hey, I was pretty cool. Liz Truss got chucked out.
Spinning so hard she's drilling a hole to try.
Oh, man. Yeah, but, you know, Margaret Thatcher was out. I don't know much about English history.
No,
you fucking dirty bastards sent me to prison. But Theresa May, whatever, she got out due to incompetence and no confidence. Cool. Liz Truss got in via racism and out via sexism. I think that's a first. And she did it really, really fast. And Rishi Sunak might be even quicker because they've already put in letters of no confidence for him.
Love it.
If Rishi's out by Christmas...
I'm here for it. I mean, at this point, I think, like jury service, you just get a letter being like, hey, you're PM. If you can survive 40 days, you get, what is it, like 120 grand a year for the rest of your life?
Yeah. I have heard that she might not be entitled to that, though.
Good.
Yeah, good, which is nuts, right?
But yeah, like, legitimately, when I found that out, like, fucking put me in. I have survived 2 years at my piece of shit job. Waking up at 4 a.m. I think I could deal with some dickheads in suits for a month.
It can't get worse.
It can't get worse.
At this point, I think we bring some of the Greens people up from Brighton and just go, have at it.
Go for it.
Shoot for the moon. let the pandas out because you don't want them in captivity. I don't know if that's the same as the English one, but the Australian Greens Party talked about that for a couple of years, letting all the pandas out. And you're like, they can't breed by themselves, right? They will die. They should be allowed to go extinct. I like pandas, stunning and brave, beautiful animals, but they are fucking retarded.
Stunning and brave.
Some of their the only reason that we should keep them alive is the compilation videos of them being utterly inept at life.
Yeah, just falling out of trees and shit and just being like, what the fuck?
Sanka, bed.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should just give the power to them for 5 minutes. Like, how much of a nuisance is it to try and get shit done when people sit in the road and go, no more you, and you're like, hey, whilst you're doing that, all these cars are sitting idle, wasting oil.
Oh man, let's attack the oil industry. Hey, there's oil paintings. Let's attack Van Gogh.
Did you see the guys that broke, or I think they chained themselves or broke into an oil refinery, but it was olive oil?
Oh, yeah. Because there was an interview with the truck driver, and he was like, pissing himself. He's like, that's cooking oil.
That's cooking oil. This is just a depot for cooking oil.
And the ones more recently that went into the Volkswagen factory.
Fuck you and your tasty fries.
Wow, did you hear that? The Volkswagen factory glued themselves to the floor, and then they were on Twitter being like,
"Oh, they're the ones that just shut up for the night." Yeah.
But not only that, they requested bedpans so they could go to the toilet in dignity, and Volkswagen went, "No, shit your pants." No. Yeah. You made your bed, sir, lay in it, and you're like, maybe you should have organised your protest a bit better. Oh, brilliant.
Maybe you should have bought your own bedpans.
Oh, brilliant. Hard segue into what was initially our first topic, now that we're away from politics, which we're way overqualified to talk about.
Famously overqualified.
James Corden, straight up ripping off Ricky Gervais. And to be fair, obviously, he didn't fucking write that joke. Like, for him to even do it, he didn't write that joke. It was one of the 8 writers in the back room that probably went, we're pretty anonymous about this. I might be able to get away with it. Either that, or it's a disgruntled writer who went, James Corden will read anything we fucking give him. I'm just going to rip him off.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Yeah. I don't have a hatred for James Corden like most people do. I think he's there. Like, whatever. I don't look at him. I don't watch it. I don't actively seek him out.
Yeah.
But it's, especially as a British comic, not to say that you should know the encyclopedia of work of every other British comic, but you should kind of like.
Ricky Gervais is probably within the top 5 greatest comedians of all time.
Yeah.
And current greatest comedians.
Yeah.
And he's easily within the top 3 greatest British comedians, especially currently.
I'd put him. I couldn't think of many others. There's obviously Sean Locke, R.I.P.
Yeah. Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr's up there.
Michael McIntyre. I like Michael McIntyre.
Out of success, yeah.
And it's not because he's clean, because Bill Cosby was clean, but we all get our demons out somehow, baby. And Bill Cosby mixed strong drinks. All right.
Hey, separate the art from the artist, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
My mum I used to listen to Bill Cosby as a kid because my mum liked him, and she was like, that was one of the reasons the other comedians I'd listen to. They just swear so much, and Bill Cosby's clever enough to not need to use swear words. I'm like, he's also fucking kids, evidently. So there's that.
Yeah, old Jim did a lot for children to like help. I want to ride a roller coaster. He can ride something else too.
He did have some good stuff though.
Anyway, James Corden, aside from the general hate that he gets for being
a twat,
he was in Cats as a fat pussy.
As a fat pussy. Thank you, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, again, shout out to Ricky Gervais for that one. I just don't get how you don't have someone fact checking this shit and like. Not saying go word for word, I mean, but like especially in the comedy world, I watch a lot of stand-up. I know bits, and I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so's bit about so. Like, Norm Macdonald's got some bits from like the fucking 90s that I can remember.
Yeah.
And if someone was to premise that, I'd be like, I actually used to do it at work. You remember our sales manager? He would like try and pass them off as his own, and I would always call him out
Stop
and be
it.
like, "That's Jimmy Carpet," and he was like, "What?"
Nice try, dickhead.
And genuinely, like, he'd get most people, but I was like, "That's a Sean Lock bit that you just told."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "That's in his like the latest special or whatever it is."
That doesn't surprise me at all. That I
He
completely
used to do that all
believe
the time. I won't say his name, but yeah, it's
However, James Corden did recently. I haven't seen the video, but he was under a bit of fire like last week because he went off his nut.
at the restaurant. I heard about this.
About an omelette or something, wasn't it?
So yeah, so basically there's a bougie restaurant in New York which is famed for like the stars go in there, and apparently he was with a group of mates. Well, there's two separate occasions. It was a group of guys that were there, a group of friends, and the waiter did something wrong, like bought out a meal late or got something wrong, and he demanded a round of drinks to the table on the house. Like, not like a, dude, I really want to be compensated, the meal was meant to be out half hour. Like, it was like, you're going to give me
Yeah, but also, shut the fuck up.
You've got the money to
You're
be paid
not
for
in a
the fucking
rush.
drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some
then-
poor server.
The second time was something like he went for breakfast with his missus, and they just absolutely cussed out this poor little waitress to the point where she got the manager involved, and the manager was like, "Yeah, that was fucking wild." But yeah, the owner has disavowed him from ever coming to the restaurant again.
Yeah, so originally, the owner publicly accepted James Corden's apology,
Yeah.
and then Corden went on TV and basically redacted his apology and was like, "Fuck this shit." And then the owner was like, "You know what? You can go fuck yourself then."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that he made it all public, I was like, yeah, go for it.
Oh, mate,
I'm
brilliant.
all here for the
Brilliant.
service industry. I've worked in the service industry,
Yeah.
I'm 28, so like 13 years now of dealing with people.
Yeah.
They're all cunts.
Mm.
There is
Yeah.
nobody ever that's ever been into a shop and not acted like a prick at some level to a member of things. So don't be all high and mighty for like those people that are just like, not me. Everyone's had a bad day. But especially when you come from not come from money, but he's wealthy. Don't be a prick. That waitress is only minimum wage, breaking her fucking back, and you're just going to be a dick.
Just gotta go to the job at Hooters afterwards. Deal with you again.
Yeah. Or your mate's trying to molest her.
Either that or Corden's gay.
Fucking
I don't know.
Hollywood.
The Hollywood paedophiles. All of them. All of them.
If you live in Hollywood, you molest.
Mate, have
That's
you
what
seen?
I believe.
There's the yeah, well, again, classic. Go down in history. Best bit of all time. Golden Globes. Ricky Gervais. All the Harvey Weinstein stuff of you all knew.
Yeah.
Epstein.
Just because you're friends with him.
He was your friend, not my friend. Shut up. Yeah, fucking, and the amount of cover-ups and stuff like that. Anyway, second hard segue. Darnell Brooks, which is kind of not super hard segue.
How dare you dead name him?
Exactly.
How
So,
dare you?
For people that don't know, Darnell Brooks, I'm pretty sure he's Darnell Brooks. I probably should have looked it up.
I think
Irrelevant because
I
he's
think
not
you're-
anymore. He's
You're
not
dead
anymore.
naming and racist.
And racist, definitely. So Darnell Brooks was a gentleman that had the unfortunate incident, as the mainstream media reported it, of being behind the wheel of an uncontrolled SUV. These wild SUVs out here just
I assume he was
mowing
in the, he was
people
in the
down.
passenger seat. Let Jesus take the wheel.
Jesus took the wheel, something like that. Proceeded to mow down a bunch. I think like 6 people died. I think like 60 people were injured.
Solid KD.
It was bad. Yeah, right. It was bad news bears. Sort of satire aside, he was behind the wheel at the time, and he mowed people down at a Christmas parade. Mainstream media reported it as out of control SUV runs over Christmas parade. It was like pretty interesting take on these wild SUVs out here, because humans are entering their territory. They're just looking for food, man. They're struggling, these SUVs.
Just sidetrack from the main story. What's the headline if it's a white guy shooting?
Well,
What's the headline if it's a Muslim dude? Same KD,
Kyle
Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Same KD, same amount of people killed.
He was
What's the headline if it's a white dude? Would it be psychotic? And what if it's a brown dude? It'd be like terrorist.
yeah. It's
Love
either
it.
not mentioned at all.
But you drive a car and it's like, oh no, he lost control.
Yeah, immediately. And anyway, Darnell Brooks, bless his little cotton socks, is now
R.I.P.
cotton. Never mind. he's now representing himself in court.
As you should.
Yeah, definitely, because he's pretty clearly sound of mind enough to do so, and he is cross-examining a witness who I think was one of the security guards at the Christmas parade standing at a barricade, and Darnell Brooks questions him and goes, and what, can you recount your tale of events? And he goes, well, I was stood at the barricade when you drove past it and proceeded to run over a bunch of people. And he goes, Darnell Brooks goes, and what do you mean by you? And he goes, the defendant, Darnell Brooks, you. And he goes, I'd like it to be shown on the record, I don't identify as Darnell Brooks. I've never met anyone by the name, and I think that should be taken into account.
That's the Office. It's Creed Bratton. The last person that crossed Creed Bratton was Creed Bratton. Like, it's just like, yeah, I no longer exist, therefore I can't be in trouble. I mean, I'm here for it.
Evidently, I think, therefore I am also works. I don't think I am, therefore I'm not. So,
yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, look, to play devil's advocate with the way that,
yeah,
look, all right, you'll get fucking cancelled off social media if you call Caitlyn Jenner Bruce Jenner, because Bruce Jenner doesn't exist anymore. Caitlyn Jenner got all those records at the Olympics, stunning and brave. Bruce Jenner doesn't exist now. Apply that to someone who doesn't identify as the same person, because let's not forget, Bruce Jenner fucking killed someone with a car.
Yeah, but this is what I don't get, is like, where's the line? Where's the... Well, Caitlyn Stunning Brave Woman of the Year, first man to win it.
Rachel Levine is the highest ranking woman ever in the American military.
Trans?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
She's the Health and Human Services Secretary or something.
God damn.
She's a health secretary. So like our health secretary in England is there smoking fat cigars and drinking champagne. Which I'm not against.
She's a fucking baller.
Right? I mean, but not exactly the picture of health. Rachel Levine.
You seen the Belgian one?
Exactly the
Belgian one looks like Augustus Gloop from Chocolate Factory.
The Canadian one looks like she's come out of North Korea. She looks super unwell. At least she's not fat like ours are, but looks a fucking mess. And you're like, you people are in charge of health for entire countries.
Wild.
Cool. I'm there for it. But yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is maybe OJ would have had more of a case if he just didn't identify as OJ anymore.
Yeah. I don't know how... What's his full name? Like, Ortholomew...
I don't know.
James Simpson.
The Juice?
I don't know. The Juice was his football nickname.
But well, I don't know his fucking name. OJ. It's OJ.
It's OJ. But it's something like Ortholomew James Brown or something like that. It's wild. But if, what's to say, it'd be like, oh, my dainty little lady hands could never fit in that glove, Your Honour. Like, what?
That was the best.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It's fucking wild. The fact that a judge hasn't just gone, no.
Yeah, I don't.
More people in this world, like my parents used to just say no to me. I want to just no, and that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
And if more people did that, I think this shit would stop.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and what was it? And the difference between Kyle Rittenhouse's bail was set at like $2 million, and I think Darnell Brooks's was set at like 30 grand or something. Yeah. Oh, it was wild. It was nuts. I think they might have even he paid his bail. He was out on bail within like a week.
Who was?
Darnell Brooks.
No, not Darnell Brooks. He doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What
true.
Did the paperwork say?
Cancelled immediately.
Well, Which
is the same reason why we've got women getting pregnant in all-female prisons.
But this is my point, okay, this guy is defending Darnell Brooks, who he's never met in his life. Oh, hey, let me sign this paperwork to get released on bail under the name of Darnell Brooks. Surely that's a got you bitch moment.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Caught in 4K. Yeah, you would think the video footage of him running down a Christmas parade might be enough.
No.
Evidently not.
Everyone knows, like, you can fake camera footage. Like,
Also, it was the SUV.
the moon landing was fake.
It was categorically the SUV.
Triangle Boys.
Yeah, definitely. Which is, so we need to ban SUVs, and also, actually, side note, we didn't have this written down, but it's very important. We also America needs to ban hammers, just like Sadiq Khan banned knives, which has stopped all the stabbings in London. Because Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi are out of danger now because America's going to ban hammers because a drug deal gone wrong.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Some crazy man in his underpants decided to try and smash Nancy Pelosi's kneecaps.
If our one viewer, for some reason, is a radical American gun owner, feel free to break into like your local senator's house. That'll get guns banned because, you know, shooting 35 schools isn't doing the job. But breaking into one fucking... What's our official title?
Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House.
Speaker,
third in line to the President. How did that man even get in the House?
Break into Speaker of the House with a hammer, and she's like, all power tools and non-power tools will now be banned. You can't open carry a saw, even in a workplace.
I think it was... Because apparently there was a third person.
Okay.
There's another person that was there as well.
Because
that's right. Paul Pelosi tried to make a phone call. Get this, on the in-house elevator, but David Pape stopped him. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, Nancy Pelosi should be in jail. She's worth $200 million, and she earns like $200,000 a year.
With them big old milkers.
She does.
That's
have
an
some fat
OnlyFans
tits.
hustle if I've ever seen one.
She does have some fat tits.
That's the equivalent of the gym girls that you see being like, sorry, you work at Asda, but you exclusively wear Gucci?
Her
Okay.
Her stock portfolio is more successful than like Warren Buffett and some of the other like top trading firms.
Is the plot twist here that you tell me Nancy Pelosi is actually trans? Was this the plot twist?
She's not. Yeah, they're big fake tits. Just like the Canadian woodworks teacher. Google it.
No issue with that one.
Yeah, Google it. Yeah, so she... what did she do recently? She bought $4 million or something. She bought a few $1 million worth of weed stocks. Nancy Pelosi, famous pot smoker.
Yep. Pro pot.
Couple of days before the Speaker of the House, which happens to be Nancy Pelosi, brought up, hey, maybe we should talk about legalising weed.
They can do that?
Yeah.
Wild.
That's what the Speaker of the House does. She brings up. That's her
what
job.
I'm saying. It's wild that is literally happening.
She's the meme of we're talking about this today, and she's like, I just bought some weed stocks. I think we should make weed legal. Get it on telly. Stocks went up, and then she fucking
pump and dump.
Bless her little cotton socks and her giant cotton brassiere. So going back to OJ,
big old milkers.
And football. You've got some lovely news about the greatest, the fucking GOAT.
Hey, I'm a football fan, and this could be a wild take that everyone that knows football hates. Fuck Tom Brady, he's not the greatest. He is, I just don't like him. No, he's recently got divorced from his missus. I've never gotten her surname. It's Giselle Boom something.
Irrelevant.
Anyway, she's a super fucking fit supermodel, but... Hypothetical for you, Jacob. Pick a sport of your choosing. In this case, American football. When you win, you get championship rings. Because who doesn't want to look fucking cool? Let's just say your wife has given you 1 ring in the entire time you've been together, and football's given you 7. Who do you really love? There, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
Makes sense.
She basically said to him. So if you don't know, he retired. The season runs September to February. He retired like midsummer. He was retired for, I believe it was 41 days before being like, I'm back. I've spent a month with these kids and fuck these kids.
The wolf of football.
And so
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. So he then decided to return. He's come back looking incredibly fucking gaunt. Like, he's going through shit. If you look at a picture of Tom Brady recently, Google it.
He's like, I spent 41 days with my wife.
He looks like fucking skeletal, bro. Like, He takes Wednesdays off, so he doesn't train on Wednesdays. The rest of the team does.
I'm thinking of a T-shirt.
He
called
does
41 days later.
He doesn't train on Wednesdays. He's like, that's a me day. No one knows what the fuck he does on those days. It's like, that's a me day.
Methamphetamine.
Florida Tom really took a fucking turn.
Yeah, exactly.
In the space of 3 years being in Florida, Tom has gone to divorce a potential alleged methamphetamine habit. Exclusively rumoured here first.
Yeah, Triangle Boyz exclusive.
Triangle Boyz exclusive. Tom Brady, meth addict. Yeah, it's just some wild shit going on. So, long story short, she said, it's me or football. And he was like, fuck them kids, I don't want to retire. And he's now like 43, playing football.
Love that shit.
He's not doing good right now. But his team is not doing well. And I think you can see a regret in his eyes of like, this is going to be my year again. Divorce date happened, they've lost 3 straight, and he's like, yeah, some choices were made.
Man, sometimes you got to go out on high. Speaking of going out on high, Kanye needs to stop.
Yeah, he needs to simmer down.
Good heavens! Like when he wore the
such a rascal.
Oh man, when him and Candace Owens wore the like White Lives Matter shirts, I was like, all right, you know, that's a good attention grab. Yeah. Pretty harmless, whatever.
Oh, you're gonna upset some people, but
it's conservative.
It's what the fuck.
Good.
Yeah, it's what's gonna happen.
Whatever, we get it. Cool. And then what? 2 days later, he's like, the fucking Jews are trying to cancel me. I'm like, all right, Black Alex Jones, you need to calm down, sir.
Oh, he did you see his apology? So he got dropped. So he's been dropped by. There's a fucking list.
Before he got dropped by, who are you going to say? He goes, I could literally say anti-Semitic shit. And
so he said I could say whatever the fuck I want, basically. But he's been dropped by JP Morgan, his bank. He's lost athletes from his management company that he has, Donda Management. Mm-hmm. He's lost like 2 of the best NFL players from it, like a few others. He's been dropped by whatever. Balenciaga have disassociated with him, even though all he does is wear a fucking gum shield for no reason that says Balenciaga on it. Like, it's fucking retarded.
He wears a gum shield?
He wears a gum shield that says Balenciaga on it.
Also, what happened to his jaw? I assume he had surgery.
So years ago, he had a song called Through the Wire talking about it. I think he was in a car crash, and he had like reconstructive surgery in his jaw. That's why he looks like that. But anyway, so he got dropped by Adidas, the second best sportswear company. Just saying, if you want to sponsor us, Nike, fuck Adidas. Yeah, so he got dropped by them, which made him lose his
sketches, man.
He's a Skechers man. Vans and Skechers. This is that podcast. Yeah, so he lost his billionaire status because Adidas were like, yeah, you can't be saying
you can't say that shit. I know you said you could say that shit. You can't say that shit.
I think it was a day or 2 later, it was like reported he was like outside by his car, and I believe the direct quote was, God is showing me what I've done wrong, and by losing my Adidas, because they say it wrong.
I'm going to be poor now.
Yeah, by losing my sponsorship, I now know how it feels for George Floyd, because I feel like this is a knee on my neck. And he compared being choked out by a police officer with a knee on your neck to him losing billionaire status.
That is amazing.
Like, I can understand.
He's like, oh my god, I'm a 100 millionaire. I can't even breathe anymore.
I could understand going bankrupt and being like, I've lost it all, but this guy's just gone, oh no, I'm not as rich as I was yesterday. I'm still incredibly rich. I own everything. Yeah. But I'm not as rich as I was.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, my Balenciaga gum shield's bleeding.
Yeah, legitimately, he compares. He said, I now know what it feels like to have a knee on my neck because I've lost my billionaire status.
That's amazing. Bless that man. Speaking of African Americans, Elon Musk has bought Twitter, and people are not okay with it.
Pro-Africa. I'm here for it.
Bro, look, there seems to be...
3 UFC champions now, African, the owner of Twitter. Africa's on the up and up.
I'm there for it. However, it seems that the white liberals are not. Stephen King being one of them, who posts some wild shit, fantastic author, some great books, but I've come to the conclusion that social media, Twitter especially, is one of those things where it's the equivalent of don't meet your heroes, because you go on to people follow like who they like on social media, right? And then you on Twitter you get to hear some of these people's, you know, off the cuff toilet thoughts and stuff. And I've gone from thinking Stephen King was some potential lizard man, super genius author, amazing, terrifying stories, to being like, you're a fucking psychopath. Yeah. And a bit of a prick. Same as Seth Rogen.
I would argue
who threatened to fight Tulsi Gabbard, but funnily enough, decided to abuse Gina Carano, but didn't threaten to fight her. Odd. Don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I would argue it's the equivalent of when you see your parents as a child and you're like, wow, these guys have really got their shit together. And you then become an adult and go, oh, these guys do not have their shit together.
Yeah, wow, they really kept up the facade.
Like, I feel like Instagram is amazing. I love Instagram because it's like, oh, there's a cute dog there. That's all. That's my Instagram life. I don't have Twitter for that.
Don't you fucking lie to me. For the videos we send each other of like, look at this guy. Look at this guy chopping a tree branch off. He died.
He died. he was sat on the tree branch.
Watch this person break their spine.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, that aside, I feel like Twitter, I don't go near it. I don't like it. It's just a conscious stream of people's thoughts. Yeah. And I look at my girlfriend at times, and I look at her and I think, if you knew the thoughts that ran through my head, you would assume I'm insane. And for some reason, people join Twitter and go, let me tell everybody exactly these thoughts.
Everyone wants to know what I'm thinking.
I went to a Halloween party recently and literally walked in and went, I'm safe. There's nobody in this room that could beat me.
You got it.
No need for that thought to come into my mind. But if I was to put it on Twitter and be like, had a Halloween party and I could probably fuck all of these dudes up. I could rape and pillage if I really wanted to.
Mitch,
they'd be like, what? You're insane.
I used to drop my son off at the gate of his nursery.
Feel safe?
And look around and be like, am I the dominant dad? Yes.
That's a t-shirt. I feel safe here.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Have like, you know, the Chads, Giga Chad.
Yeah, I feel safe here.
And then just have a load of NPC, a crowd of NPCs.
100%. But yeah, that's Twitter. It's just a conscious stream of shit thoughts that you have that you feel you need to share with the world.
And you shouldn't.
I don't care what Bob down the road is thinking about the new Prime Minister, because frankly, I don't know who the fuck Bob is. I don't care for his opinions. I always thought it was kind of like important people would say important things, i.e. Stephen Hawking's, R.I.P. and all that shit, would tell us something interesting about the universe.
Right, well, he kind of did.
Nowadays, you just get Sally, who's like, well, my moon cycle is telling me that that's wrong. And
have you charged your quartz crystals this week?
Yeah, and I'm like, hey,
Mercury's rising.
Believe what you want to believe, whatever keeps you happy. I'm pretty much like a happy-go-lucky, but don't tell me about it.
Oh man,
and I feel like Twitter is telling me about it. That's why I don't go on Twitter.
People put some wild shit on there, and now because Elon Musk has taken over Twitter.
But having said that, I'm gonna join Twitter just to be verified,
just for the lulz.
I'm gonna.
It's worth the £6 a month,
$8, whatever it is. I'm gonna be verified.
Yeah. But essentially the same people that threatened to move to Canada when Donald Trump got elected are the same people that are like, I'm gonna leave Twitter because Elon Musk is a white supremacist. And they won't leave. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Man.
She's that person at your job that's like, I fucking hate it here. I'm gonna quit. And you're like, okay.
However,
I'll see you tomorrow.
The fact checkers of Twitter 2.0 have been fact checking the White House, something chronic, to the point where they've deleted a couple of tweets because they were like, actually, that's a fucking lie. And it's brilliant.
I'm here for that.
So, funnily enough, the Biden, I don't know if it's the Department of Justice, I think it's the DHS, so the Department of Homeland Security is launching a criminal investigation into Tesla within a week after Elon Musk gets Twitter and starts fact-checking the White House. So the DHS is like, criminal investigation because you're a foreign entity. You're an American national.
I'm here for it.
It's fucking wild. You're like, what a coinky dink.
Yeah. There's so much shady shit going on. Like, I can't remember what his name was. I watched the podcast. There's Lex Friedman with, I think he was like an ex-CIA guy. I can't remember his name. This is a recent one. Big curly hair. He was like an ex-spy. And the way he talks...
He's not the foreign guy, the ex-KGB guy.
No. That's... I know that.
Because that one was pretty wild.
That was pretty wild. No, this one's like an ex-CIA spy, but he was basically saying, like, some of the shit they get up to. Like, I didn't realise the president appoints the head of the FBI, and then kind of goes with, like, obviously it happened with Trump, and it makes more sense now that it explains that there's just sort of like, we're going to have to investigate you and be like, well, you're no longer in charge. I'm going to get my mate Bill to come round and not look at me. His one job is not to look at me. They also get a daily dossier, the president does. It's usually about like 70 pages long. And all of the intelligence agencies basically compete for front page, top spot. And it is just a case of president...
Are you talking about the guy that does a podcast on the president's dossier?
No.
Because there's a guy that I haven't listened to it yet. I've been meaning to just have a look at some clips.
It's a daily dossier of like 70 pages. How the fuck do you get through all of that?
Joe's not reading that.
No, Joe's not making it to breakfast.
He said his son died in Iraq the other day. His son died in a hospital in America.
Because of Iraq?
No, cancer.
Iraqi nurse?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Iraqi cancer?
I mean, he also said that Hunter's one of the smartest people I know. And then 4 days later, Hunter Biden's having a TV interview of, smoking Parmesan cheese.
I mean, Parmesan cheese.
Don't get me wrong. Like, if it tastes that good, can you smoke it? He was looking for rocks.
Side channel to Triuangle Boyz is, can you smoke it?
Yeah, can you smoke it?
James? What the fuck is James? Jacob will put something in a pipe and give that a go.
Yeah, quite. But yeah, fucking wild shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but the CIA and stuff, Operation Midnight Climax. You ever heard of that?
I mean, usually a couple of minutes past midnight, but I do climax pretty quick.
That's exactly what it is, man. So it was the CIA and the FBI, one of the two. They were picking up random dudes on the street, random Johns on the street, putting them into a hotel room that they'd kitted out with one-way mirrors, and getting prostitutes to dose them up with LSD and seeing how they react when they go into climax. What are you doing? What are you doing? And also...
Oh, good lord, your dog is... Oh, that is foul.
He eats chicken shit. You're smelling recycled chicken shit.
Yeah.
It do be like that. Yeah. He's on your side of the room.
Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, Operation Midnight Climax, MK Ultra, where they were fucking mind controlled, dosing up people with LSD, shit like that. Yeah, so they've done shady shit. So there's I can't even shout out his name, but there's a comedian that goes, he's like, I don't get people that don't believe in any conspiracies. He goes, don't get me wrong, you don't have to believe in all of them.
It's Ron Funches.
That's the one.
Black dude. Yeah.
And he goes, but you don't believe in any of them?
Any of them? Yeah.
And he's like, you just think the government's out here batting 1,000?
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, I love it.
So Elon bought Twitter, and then we were going to talk about something else.
Trans volleyball.
Good lord, this was an insane story.
So after Fallon Fox was straight up cracking skulls in women's mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
You had Leah Thomas swimming.
That's the one.
You had the two or three lads at one of the universities that were breaking state records for track and field.
Yeah, there was a wrestler who was competing as trans and absolutely destroying our competition.
Oh, there was that. So, and funnily enough, the inverse of that, so not males transitioning to females, there was a female transitioning to male. She was young, she was a kid. She won a national level wrestling tournament, which potentially resulted in a scholarship. But she was female transitioning to male. She was taking male hormones, so she was on test, but she was competing against females for her safety. And you're like...
I'm okay with that.
Oh, no, sweetheart.
No, I'm okay with that.
You compete with the boys now.
I'm okay with it. I don't care.
Juice the rest of the girls up then.
I'm okay with it. So yeah, actually it was funny. I sent you the story, and it was like a bloodhound. You sent me the fucking video. It was wild. It was like a high school team were going up against another high school, and the other team had a trans person, I believe it was male to female,
on
the female volleyball team, who allegedly spiked the ball so hard
There was nothing alleged about it.
Knocked out the girl or like gave her a concussion.
Like,
we were like,
her
that's wild.
get
and then
stunned.
And then the fucking bloodhound of videos over here finds it, and it is the most brutal fucking balls to the face I've seen. And I've been on double-digit pages of Pornhub. Like,
fucked.
I've searched. That was fucking violent. I've played contact sports most of my life. That was a fucking headshot.
It was a spike, man, and yeah. And having said that, man's got hops. I mean, she's got hops. Big.
They have hops.
And then 45 degrees straight shot, and she's like cuppy down and bent down for
doing
it.
The whole like I'm ready to prepare.
And it fucking beans her in the face, and it was like she's been hit with a stunner.
Oh, it was wild.
And she like freezes up for a moment, and then just hits the deck. And she's got pretty severe head and neck trauma.
That'll do it.
It's pretty bad. And
you're probably gonna get long-lasting migraines and shit.
Oh, don't. And this is the thing, like, so you know, apart from like Fallon Fox contact sports, it's not safe. It's not fucking safe, man, and it's wild.
Yeah, but it's like realistically, they're high school, so.
And also,
the oldest they're going to be is like 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that done to you at 16, that's fucking the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's bad, man. And going back to what you said earlier, where is that dude's dad to be like, hey man, you're probably not going to play on the girls' volleyball team.
Yeah.
Done.
No.
Conversation over. It's not happening.
No.
It's not happening. And people go, oh, it doesn't even happen that often. Well, it's yeah, because it hasn't been happening for that long, but it's happening increasingly often.
Yeah, it's just wild that it's happening. Like, I'm all for just do what the fuck you want. I'm pretty liberal in terms of like, in the definition of liberal, as in,
and they talk about
the fuck alone,
they talk about rights, right?
Alone.
Like, oh, I have the right to do whatever I want, and you're like, yes, you do. However, your rights don't supersede others.
Yeah,
right. So
it's pretty. I'm pretty much like. I get people do this to me at work all day. I'm like, I deadlifted a PR today, and I'm like,
cool.
Have you broken anything? Why are you telling me? It'd be the equivalent of like, hey, how you doing? What can I get for your order? It's like, well, I'm actually, I identify as he and they, and my name is Tom. I'm like, hey, cool. I don't give a fuck. What do you want? This is McDonald's.
How about you fuck off?
Like, I'm very much of the mindset of, I don't care what you are and who you want to be, just don't fucking impose it on others and affect other people's lives with it. Don't get me wrong, if you're a fucking wheelchair user, yeah, you're going to affect other people's lives. We're going to have to suck it up. Like, there's going to be a ramp. It makes sense. But for somebody... Square wheels all round.
Yeah.
But for somebody to be like, well, I don't feel like I'm in the right body, so I'm just going to go bodies and girls. I'm going to start competing tomorrow in, like, white belt jiu-jitsu with girls. Like...
I tucked...
For example, I think we're going to discuss, like, obviously jiu-jitsu. We've both recently we've recently gone into it, as in, what did you start about? I want to say about a year ago.
Yeah, like legitimate. I don't know how long Adam's been there.
I want to say it was about last November. I want to say. So I'm going to say we've had it at the gym for about a year. You've been consistent. I went for a couple of months. I've recently got back into it. I think I'm about a month back or so. And like, we've got girls in the class who have stripes. Good on them. They've worked hard for them.
Yeah, and they're better than you.
I am still absolutely fucking bodying them because, hey, guess what? I weigh 115 kilos.
Yeah, there's rules to this.
There's like 2 people in the class who I can't just put all of my weight on, and they go, like, it happens. If I start competing and be like, oh, hey,
I'm a lady.
I'm going to grow my hair out. I'm not going to get any surgery or take any hormones, but you must call me Michelle from now onwards. Mitchell's dead. It's now Michelle.
Zuby did it.
I'm gonna go fucking body people.
There's a
the rapper.
The rapper Zuby, identified as a female powerlifter, broke the female records, and then transitioned back.
I'm 28 years old. If I said to my mum right now, "Hi, I'm Michelle. I identify as female. I'm not shaving the beard or taking hormones."
Would you get screamed at in Spanish?
No,
beaten with a flip flop.
No, she wouldn't even put that much effort into it. She'd just go, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
And then fuck off to whatever else she was doing.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Don't be a fucking idiot.
Exactly. Like, I'm here to respect everyone's opinions and preferences and all that shit within reason, as in, if you walk in and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm your new colleague, I define as she, I'm like, cool, fine, whatever.
It's the
she better clean up the fucking toilets just as I do.
It's like what really pisses me off about so Adam, our fucking legendary jiu-jitsu coach,
Daddy Adam,
Pappy, so we got another guy in our class called Luke, who's also 115 kilos.
But not like 115 kilos, but like 115 kilos.
Built like a fucking oak tree. And Adam actually said, I would trade my black belt just for your physicality.
Yeah.
And Luke was like, no, you wouldn't. And Adam was like, yes.
Yes, I would.
I would.
Yeah.
I would immediately. Because, and I will bully Adam one day into doing a podcast.
You can sit right here.
You can sit here with the dog.
We won't talk. We'll just do this.
Yeah. Dote on him. Would you like a drink of water?
Did you bring tape with you today?
Yeah, I've got my belt here. What a coinky ding. But he goes, jiu-jitsu is a sport for weak people to be able to defend themselves. And I'm like, I'm completely there for that. And it's
when
true.
a motherfucker turns up like Luke.
But there's a line, right? So it's one of those things where... So I rolled with a blue belt once. Just no-gi. Ages ago. I didn't have any stripes at this point. We were only a couple of months in with Adam. And I was 85 kilos at the time and stronger than I am now. And this guy was probably 65 kilos with a wet woolen jumper on.
Yeah.
But a blue belt and technically way better at jiu-jitsu than me.
Yeah.
But when I'm just peeling limbs off and laying on top of it, there's nothing you can do. Exactly right. And even before people start bringing up, oh, but what about if you were in a street fight? Irrelevant of that.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu itself, if the physicality outweighs the technique, then being stronger wins. If the chasm of technical ability is so great that being physical doesn't count, then the technical ability wins.
Prime example is I rolled with Rob last night. A fucking hulk of a man.
Yes, big
I
man.
couldn't move his arms. I couldn't put him into any position that I wanted to attack. But he then couldn't get out of my guard. Because whether I was open or closed, he just couldn't get out of it. Because I had the technique that he didn't have, and he's got strength that I don't have. I don't think I'll ever have. That man doesn't know anything other than buys and bench. Like, he was like, yeah, I benched 150 earlier on today. Just to like some random. I was like, dude, what?
Yeah. Standard.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. And to bring Luke up again, he's also able to bench that amount, but also happens to be very talented at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh,
he's
cool.
a fucking animal.
Cool. But he's got competition coming up, so he needs to try more. So stop being so nice. And
say it to the camera with the lens.
Oh man, don't. I even if I can, I want to know what it feels like for him to be like, oh no, I'm going to dominate you now, and just fucking choke you out immediately. I would love to know what it feels like for the all 5 seconds I would be able to last before I lose consciousness immediately.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just, again, I think this is what we were originally going to talk about, is the etiquette.
Oh, yeah.
Is that he doesn't do that because he's not a prick.
But he's too nice about it.
Like, he made a comment to me once, which I took as, like, the biggest compliment. He's like, you do what I do. You're a big guy. So you get yourself in, like, trouble and difficult positions just to work out of them, as opposed to just dominating with your weight. And I was like, I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But
you're like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I
definitely.
do that.
That's definitely what I do. And it's like, no, I just get mounted like a fucking bitch. But no.
That manatee.
Yeah.
Which is also going to be a t-shirt.
I actually thought of a really funny one the other day, and I fully blanked on it. I should have written it down, but hey ho.
But yeah, with etiquette, so people that smoke, like, I don't care what you do.
Fucking chew gum.
But fucking don't smoke before you go and do jiu-jitsu, because you fucking stink. Whether you can smell
close
it or not.
to your face, brush your fucking teeth.
It's gross, yeah. Brush your teeth, wash,
Yeah.
and when you leave the mats, wear shoes.
Oh,
like,
mate.
we've seen people leave the mats, go to the fucking toilet,
I
and then
stand
walk
on
back.
Well,
all in their socks.
I stand on a reception desk, and I said to Cameron yesterday, whilst I was rolling with him, whilst we were drilling, took a little water break, and I was like, we saw one of the guys walk off barefoot, and we pulled him up. Well, Cam pulled him up on it.
Oh, I saw that.
And it was like, I said to Cam, I was like, I see at least, I want to say 10 people a week go to the toilets barefoot, which is just wild to me. You walk around a gym, which is obviously fucking disgusting. People coming in from outside, working out. There's sweat, there's shit, there's piss, there's blood. Obviously not that egregious.
Poo particles, baby. It's
But
poo particles.
then you walk around barefoot, you kick a bag, you go to the toilet, and then you decide to get on mats where my face is going to be, and you think I'm not going to spend time fucking deep cleaning those motherfuckers.
I fucking had impetigo 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Which is a staph infection. Yeah. I had AIDS on my face and it was fucking gross and it pissed me right off. But toenails and fingernails, cut that shit.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus
Top
Christ.
tip, if you have a bath beforehand and then cut them, they don't ping everywhere because they're soft.
Easier to cut. And
That's a top
then
tip.
you get the pleasure of doing a sport so manly that you give yourself a mani-pedi before you go.
You hug men and give yourself mani-pedi. It's not gay.
Look, it's called self-care, right?
Yeah.
Self-care.
You then get an increasingly expensive habit for fancy soap.
Yeah, you do. It smells nice.
You want to look for some fancy soaps?
Look, it's got jojoba oil, macadamia oil. I'm there for it.
Mine's papaya.
Ooh.
And they're made in Hawaii.
The Mexican mango.
Which is probably why they're expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
I saw that made with aloha. I'm like, made with hello and or goodbye.
Yeah.
I
Made with hello and goodbye.
don't understand it.
Hello body, goodbye germs.
Right? Goodbye impetigo. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff happening in Russia at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got a WNBA player, which is probably the most media coverage the WNBA has ever had.
It is. It literally is.
And I think it's the first time a WNBA player has been a household name.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Sue Bird, legend. I'm a bit of a sports nut, mainly everything but football, because fuck football. Kicky football, the one where they roll around with
Soccer football.
You know. But I'm aware of WNBA. I don't say I actively watch it, but like I've seen it. Their fundamentals are incredible.
They could probably beat me in a one-on-one.
I mean,
I'm shit at basketball.
I'm a fucking athlete. People are surprised by my athleticness.
The Alex Jones of sports.
I am
The Bert Kreischer.
I'm the Bert Kreischer.
The English Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. Yeah, without the confidence of Bert Kreischer. But yeah, like...
He told Joe Rogan he could beat him in a press-up competition on the last day of October.
He compared himself to Tiger Woods. He said he is just as much of an athlete as Tiger Woods is.
In fairness, he did then do 38 press-ups on the trot.
Yeah, he can bust them out. I think that's his party trick.
Joe did 75 immediately afterwards.
Yeah, but
so
anyway,
close, Bert, but not quite.
Anyway, I'm a sports fan. I am a sports player. I'm just a god at sports. Get a pair of balls in my hands.
All-round athlete.
I don't know who she is. I don't care who the fuck she is. I think I saw a meme which was basically along the lines of, if you were in a Russian prison for breaking the law, would she lose any sleep over you? Like,
yeah.
I get in America weed.
Brittany Griner is who we're talking about, by the way.
Yeah, I get in America weed is now becoming more lax. It's no longer a big deal. Like, I went in April, and it's still baffling to me that people just walk down the street smoking it. It stinks.
Yeah, but that happens in London. I remember moving from Australia and walking down the street in London, and it's because there's 10,000 people around you, and you can smell pot, and the police are like, well, I'm not going to fucking find them.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. This is like one person walking down the street, and you're like, dude, this is wild.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It kicks up a pong. Like, you can smell it from a mile away.
Yeah, they're doing some pretty wild shit over there. With
America's gotten super fucking chill with it, which is good for them. I don't think it should be criminalised. Personally, I don't do it. If you want to, I don't give a shit.
Less direct death causality than alcohol.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't care for it. I don't do it myself, but if you want to and it's not harming anyone, fucking do it. But I also know that if I go to Abu Dhabi tomorrow and they're like, we're not allowed to drink here, I'll be like, guess what I'm not doing? I'll stick to Pepsi.
Well, I'm playing Edward 40 Hands tonight.
Yeah, like if you see me in the fucking news with two fucking
duct tape,
bottles to my hands, being like, "Man in Saudi gets arrested, we must free him." Don't come for me. Like, you've broken the rules of a incredibly fucking.
Also, she was like smoking weed for anxiety and stuff, apparently, right? And
don't be anxious.
My first thing was, what's going to make you more anxious? Having what you know is an illegal substance in a country like Russia, or maybe just not smoking pot for a few days?
Yeah.
Because what's your anxiety like now? Because you're in jail without weed.
Mate,
so,
I walk through customs when I, like, go through an airport.
And you're like, what if I forget the 8-ball I shoved up my ass this morning?
I have nothing on me, and my arsehole just goes... I'm like, what am I in trouble?
Yeah. Is that a balloon in my butt?
Imagine you know you've got something on you, and you're in arguably one of the strictest fucking places, like bar North Korea.
Sweating.
Yeah.
It's funnily enough, when we go through the airport, it's my wife that gets checked. Because I think they look at her, and then they look at me, and they go, nah, that's not fucking normal. She's under duress. There's no way. There's no way that she's there deliberately with him. And I'm in flip-flops and a vest, and she's dressed nicely because we're going on holiday. And I'm like, fucking way. I've got 40s duct taped to my hands.
Go to Abu Dhabi for the World Cup. 40s on your hands. Yeah, no, it's
this
fucking...
is my wife.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. But no, it's... No, fuck you. Do your time. Be a fucking adult.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Also, they're looking at... But they're going to trade...
They were going to trade.
They're going to trade a Russian spy.
Captive Russian spy
for a WNBA player. You're like, hey man,
Greg Fitzsimmons.
Listen.
That's the most coverage the trade has ever got in WNBA.
You're going to tell Tom Brady to trade his how many championship rings?
7.
For his one wedding ring. I think we already discussed the value of that trade.
Yeah, the thing is, and not to bring it to race and gender and equality. I like saying that word like that because I feel like equality doesn't mean the same as it used to. It used to mean level playing field. It now means they're different to you. Make them better than you. If Tom Brady was to have gone to Russia on like a fucking PR tour and it was like, oh yeah, he was found with a fucking ounce of weed in his bag, we're going to detain him, we'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
He could have got an 8th ring.
Hey, you really fucked up, guy.
Yeah, he could have got an 8th ring. What a shame. He now lives in Russian prison.
Equality used to be a rising tide raises all ships. Now it's sink that fucking ship. Sink that guy's ship.
We're sunk. Sink that one too.
Hey, he's floating. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that fuck. Yeah, it's you know, if it was just if it was just a white dude, you'd be like, well, you've gone down fucked up by taking an ounce of weed to Russia.
Well, also,
who does that?
Speaking of equality, not just along lines of race, but along lines of economic status, let's draw some comparisons between Alec Baldwin shooting a cinematographer in the fucking face and killing her in the chest, whatever, and Kyle Rittenhouse defending himself against a paedophile. An underage man kills a paedophile while the paedophile was chasing him down, telling him he was going to kill him.
And this is a pretty serious question,
Alec Baldwin never got arrested.
Did Rittenhouse post an RIP in memoriam of the person I killed a year later on his Instagram?
Maybe he should have.
Maybe he should have.
Maybe he should have. He did destroy the AR-15 though that he killed the paedophile with. I, for one, would have had it enshrined in resin, framed, and put it up on my wall.
My Republican co-host, everyone. Did you see? This is. Old...
I'm not going to get angry about people killing pedophiles.
Yeah, no, fuck it. This is old school news. But did you see? Sorry, you said about he destroyed the AR. There was, I can't remember what her name was. She was like some sort of U.S. government senator or whatever. She was trying to run for whatever she was running for. One of her pledges was to like ban guns and start like getting rid of ARs and shit. So on a video in her garden, she's like, "Vote for me and we'll take away ARs." The usual shit. She has an AR on a workbench, which she then proceeds to like pop the lid down on the old visor, angle grind to be like, "I've destroyed this AR." she technically committed a federal offence because she shortened the barrel length below like what was legally required. She technically made an illegal weapon
that
still functions. And yeah, it was like a whole big thing a few years back, and I was like, that just gives me Alec Baldwin vibes of like, okay, we get it was an accident.
No, disagree.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, we get it was an accident that a live bullet was loaded, whatever it is. Don't walk around set going, but the fact that it's just like, you've now brought to the attention, we'd all forgotten about it. The current social media circle is, that was like 5 minutes ago, what happened?
But also,
we forgot about it, and you're just going, I didn't kill this woman. And we're like, oh yeah, you killed a woman.
You fucking killed a woman. And the thing is, that so Alec Baldwin, it was a pretty small budget film, right? So Alec Baldwin, there's a chain of custody that a firearm has to go through. The firearm was handed off, first picked up off a table, not by the armourer. It was by someone else. So that's supposed to be first port of call is the armourer. They check it, they put the blanks in it, they hand it off.
Yeah.
And then it's like the executive producer, which is Alec Baldwin at the time, checks the gun, makes sure because the blanks are clearly marked.
Yeah.
Hands it on to the producer. Producer checks it, hands it to the director or maybe to the actor, whatever.
The assistant
anyway,
is gonna give.
Yeah, there are multiple checking points, right? Guns in Alec Baldwin's hands, which ultimate liability lies with the person holding the firearm, right? All firearm training, of which Alec Baldwin has well over a decade of, he's done enough movies and has enough firearms training. I grew up on a farm where we had a 2.2 rifle, and irrelevant of if it was a single shot bolt action old Winchester rifle, so it was like bolt open, round in, loaded, fire, bolt open. It doesn't have a magazine, it's single shot bolt action. This was, I think, a revolver, but it was like I can't remember the exact term, it's like a dual action revolver. So to fire that gun, you can't just pull the trigger.
You've got to cock it back.
You have to cock it back first. So there's a process that needs to happen, right?
That he's gone. Let me just try this shot. We're gonna go bap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the shot, evidently the shot required him to shoot down the camera. It's not hard for a bit of trick photography using some mirrors to get someone to aim a gun down a camera barrel, right? Without being there in front of it.
Easier than that. You go up to the camera, like we've got our setup now. There's a camera there, and our screen, and you go, yeah, that's cool. That's the angle I want. All right, cool. We're gonna fire this blank. It's gonna get loud as shit. Everyone move away.
Yeah.
And then there's just a camera that gets shot and broken. Oh shit! Someone put the wrong thing in. Let's all have a small panic attack.
Yeah.
And reset this whole fucking shit.
There'd been, it wasn't the first time it had happened on set. There were people walking off.
Yeah, there
was multiple misfires. People were complaining. Alec Baldwin's got a history of anger. He's held reporters over bonnets before. He's done some fucking wild shit.
Cool guy.
Pretty cool guy. And he wasn't friends with her. Like we were friends. They weren't friends.
No.
They were not friends, man.
Yeah, it's just wild that again, like
he killed a woman.
Again, this is Bruce Jenner all over us. Like
100%.
Bruce killed a guy. Sorry, do you mean Caitlyn? I was like, no, Bruce killed a guy.
Yeah.
Caitlyn didn't win any Olympic medals. Bruce did.
Yeah.
Bruce was on the Wheaties box, but he also murdered someone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, mate, it's nuts. Which, South Park, I don't care if you're a fan of South Park or not, but their episode on Caitlyn Jenner is amazing.
Have you seen their show, which is like 7 days to air? It basically shows how they make an episode in 7 days, so it's relevant as possible to the news.
And it's wild. Death threats over Muhammad in a bear suit. Fucking
wild.
Within days of Steve Irwin dying, they got some flack for that.
Yeah.
Good heavens.
R.I.P. Steve Irwin.
But yeah.
My favourite Australian.
Right?
I'm happy to say that's standing and sitting next
Good. And I get it. Yeah. Otherwise, what else is there? So yeah, actors shouldn't be immune from anything, like ridicule about killing people, or the fact that we're all just, relevant news being Black Adam coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing The Rock play a superhero. Cool, awesome.
No,
can we stop pretending
Wakanda forever for me, baby.
He's not fucking juiced up to his eyeballs.
Everyone is juiced up to their eyeballs. The amount of videos that come across my YouTube being like a GQ, how did Chris Hemsworth train for his film in Thor?
Man, he's probably the only one that there's an argument for him being natural. He's always been pretty athletic.
Okay, name any other one apart from maybe Keanu, because somehow he still keeps his I'm just wiry thin, but I'm fucking great.
No, I don't think Keanu.
But it's there's so many that you're like, how did he get in shape?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Look at Hugh Jackman when he first started playing Wolverine, when he was in his mid-30s, and he's got he's obviously not in bad shape. Dad bod. And now people like it.
Not just ripped to the gills, but he's got that girth in his arms that you're like...
He's a thick boy, and you're like, sir, you are 54. Yeah. You need to calm down. It's like, do you want to look like Wolverine? Yeah, but I don't have the money to buy that amount of test and growth hormone.
Controversial opinion, I also don't give a shit. Just don't be a bitch about it.
Oh, also...
I know people that are on it that just tell me, they're like, yeah, this is how much I'm on. And I'm like, pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm shooting to the moon, baby. Speaking of the Hemsworths, fucking...
No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm still sad.
Not happy. And Henry Cavill would want to have a fucking damn good excuse for not being the Witcher anymore. Because I'm sorry, Luke Hemsworth.
You're not the Witcher. Go fuck yourself.
Completely inadequate. I was... Initially, when I first heard that they were doing a Witcher, I love The Witcher, I love the stories, incredible games.
Yeah.
So when they were talking about, we're going to do a TV series of it, I was like, don't you fuck this up.
Don't you fuck this up.
Don't you dare.
The minute they announced Henry Cavill, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I know he's a Warhammer nerd, he's a Warcraft nerd, he's a PC gamer.
Yeah. And he's a complete Witcher nerd as well.
He made fucking anecdotes about, I think it was one of the chandeliers on set. He was like, it looks like I think it's called a Black Fortress from Warhammer 40k. He was like, I couldn't tell anyone because no one knew what the fuck was going on. But the fact that he's more invested in the source material than the people making it.
He refused to shoot a scene. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched The Witcher,
it's good.
It's been out for ages. Go do it. Anyway, Roach dies.
Yeah.
Right? And the director originally had Geralt laughing about it. And Henry Cavill refused to shoot the scene. He was like, Geralt wouldn't laugh about that. He was like, he doesn't really laugh anyway. But he wouldn't laugh about it. So, no, that needs to be rewritten. Yeah. And to be fair to the director, she turned around and was like, you know what? You do that scene however you think will be best. And they did, and it was a good scene. And it was, but now he's not the Witcher anymore. And... I assume it's not going to be worth watching. I'm going to hate watch it anyway.
I won't. I just won't watch it.
You're going to straight up not watch it?
I do. I'm shit at watching TV. I did it with the missus. We started watching Rings of Power and House of Dragons.
Yeah.
I'm about 5 episodes in and I missed a week and now I just never bothered catching up again.
I've heard House of Dragons is good.
House of Dragons slaps. The Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. It's got some fucking bullshit B-Tech acting in it, which is...
Yeah, Rings of Power I've heard is trash, and it's also trying to push the message. They're just doing some weird shit.
Yeah.
They're replacing people that don't need to be replaced.
Peter Jackson's not in charge of it, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. So. And also, there's this weird thing with films now, where we've had badass women in films for years, right? Whether it's Mila Jovovich for the Resident Evil series.
Alien.
Ripley. Ripley. There's been some bad bitches throughout, right?
Oh, Furiosa and Mad Max. Charlize Theron.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitch.
Kill Bill.
Uma
Thurman. That's right. You don't need to do it. Whereas now they're like, not only do the women have to be the mostest badassest of all of them, but we're also going to make the men completely fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, man. It's not even... It's like
you've
got to at least make it believable.
It's playing the game on easy. It's like, you get 15,000 kills, but do you really feel good about yourself?
Tank Girl. old, but I think they did a recreation of it. I'm sure it was Taker.
I know of it, but I've never seen it or read the comics.
But she got some kickings, man. She took some fucking beatings before she bested people that were bigger than her.
Yeah, but that's the story point. Is like they don't give up, as opposed to just like I'm strong, independent. I'm
a strong, independent woman, and I can beat anyone.
Having said that, I do feel the same way about fucking Creed and Rocky and all the new like. Oh, I lost the boxing match, and now I have to win the next boxing match.
Yeah, no, you're like, please, stop, no more.
Please stop.
No more. I said we boxing today. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, no, I'm sick of that shit.
I think. Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
No, I don't care.
So obviously he's heavyweight champion of the world, and he weighs like I don't know $170. Like he's a cruiserweight at most, but most likely
a child.
And he's all like bumps into this other dude, and it turns out it was like a friend from his youth.
Actually, I have seen that.
Got locked away, and this, that, the
You're
other.
living my life.
You're living my life, and all that stuff. And then he comes back and he's like fresh out of prison after 3 weeks. He's got like a title fight, and he's fighting. And you're like,
look, all I'm saying is
3 weeks, obviously, like a fucking exaggeration, but
there's B tier animes that have better fucking plot lines than
100%.
some like AAA films.
100%.
Like top tier, big budget films have some of the flimsiest fucking plots. Like Rings of Power, even like TV series wise,
flimsy
was like billions.
Flimsy,
right?
Most expensive TV show ever made,
and it's terrible.
Some B-tech acting. It was awful.
Terrible.
Speaking of plot lines that should be thickums, but they're not. Avatar 2.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch the fuck out of the 3 hours and 15 minutes runtime.
It was like when. Do you remember when the second Incredibles movie came out, and there was a bunch of '90s kids that were like, "Get the fuck out of my way, children! This is my film."
Yeah,
they're like, "You weren't there, man. You weren't there. You weren't there in Nam when the first one came out."
This will be me fighting children, being like, "Bitch, I've ridden the Avatar ride. I've been to Avatar World in Disney.
I've seen it.
I've been in Pandora."
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that was a pretty... I remember Kev coming
I played the firmly mediocre Avatar video game.
Yeah,
right?
I liked it.
It was, to be fair, it was pretty good.
I liked it.
It was only about 2 hours long, but it was good.
What I didn't like about Avatar initially was, like, the whole, we're using this revolutionary technology to show you this stuff. And it's like, it was incredible, amazing, never been done. And it's like, oh, the plot line was... bad people take the thing away and then the good people win. And you're like, I was expecting more. As I've grown up, I realised that for people my age now then, this was like cinema history of like, wow, look at this fucking immersion I'm getting.
It was the second Matrix.
Yeah.
It was like, when the Matrix first came out, people were like, sweet buttery Jesus, although obviously the plot of the Matrix is a little bit more nuanced than what the Avatar is. But the Avatar was just apart from the technology used, was just a fucking good action film.
It's just I switch my brain off and go, wow, look at all this shit, and that's what I'm looking forward to. The second one.
Glowing fungi.
I think they released the trailer like yesterday, and I've not seen it yet. I'm looking forward to it.
I see something about a bow.
They basically so James Cameron had the idea after the first one to do the second one, and he was going to like travel the world of Pandora. So they're basically meeting the water people. So the Na'vi that live by the sea and in the water. Mm-hmm. And the third one is supposed to be the sky people or the mountain people. It's basically a 3 hour fucking Disney ride where it's like, meet these mythical people that don't exist. And I'm like, I'm here for it.
And they're just going to do like, oh, they're elemental beings now.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm here for
it. Good. It's basically... So there's Avatar, Airbender, where you've got like the Earth, Wind realm, and James Cameron's like, that's cool. I've got an Avatar film as well.
What a fucking letdown
We've just fucking exposed James Cameron.
What a fucking letdown that was. The Avatar live action.
Yeah, but live action films. I want to watch the
They could have done that so good.
I haven't seen the.
It should have really gone full fucking Japanese anime live, like Kung Fu Hustle.
Big tit, what? No? Nothing.
What?
Huh? Oh, what happened?
No, I mean, like, you know Kung Fu Hustle where they're, like, jumping in the air. Do you remember that film? Like,
hang on, is Kung Fu Hustle where he fights a cow?
no.
No, what was that?
That's the Axe Gang, and they're like attacking the local village, and they turn out to be like martial arts masters. Like this little
Oh
village
no,
middle of buttfuck nowhere. They're all martial arts masters that are just kind of like chilling.
I watched one that was what was it? Kung Fu something. He fights a cow, but the cow like fires milk at him and shit.
Nice.
Wild film.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle though. But yeah, I'm talking like jumping off bamboo,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Exactly.
Go wild with it.
Pretty clearly strings happening, but it's good.
But that's what I came for.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the live action of Attack on Titan.
I haven't, no.
I'd be curious to watch it, but also potentially trash. But they can't. I mean, there's something about. I like anime. You're not a massive anime fan.
I'm not. No.
But there's definitely something about when you like. Obviously, there's some trash anime where you're like, God, you people need to calm down. Yeah. But some of the storylines and stuff, like Attack on Titan's got some really good ones.
The premise is fucking awesome.
Oh man, nuts! And the live action, if they do it properly, I don't think it can be done justice in one film. That's why I like.
This is why I like the Rings of Power concept of
doing parts.
This is too much for a film.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones. This is too much for a film. We're gonna give you 8 seasons. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and what's the Chris Pratt one that he did recently? And he did it in it's like 10 parts or something, and they're all like an hour long.
Oh, yeah, I know the one on Amazon. Terminal List or something like that.
That's the one. Really good.
Not seen it.
And Chris Pratt's a fucking legend.
Again, I don't watch TV.
Yeah, you watch Amazon.
A game.
Anyway,
speaking of runtime,
I think that's it because you're gonna go and have lunch.
Yeah, I'm fat.
Yeah, I'm
the
getting
manatee
hungry
needs
too.
feeding.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully this will be up as soon as I can post it. And this has been the Triangle Boys.
Oh wait, we need to decide. Are we gonna go like Illuminati Triangle?
Yeah, you got it.
Are we gonna go like Street Gang? I kind of like that one. It throws up a little triangle.
Oh, well, you go Street Gang and I'll go Illuminati.
Oh, you're going like cross-palmed. I thought
proper. Well, otherwise you make a diamond, don't you?
Why don't you just flatten your fucking thumbs out?
It's easier.
Yeah, I don't know why I like that vibe.
We'll be making street Illuminati triangles.
Street Illuminati
T-shirts.
If I see you throw up a Street Illuminati triangle, I assume this is where you got it from.
Yeah, Triangle Boy. Please feel free to greet us as Triangle Boys from now
on. In the cadence of City Boys.
City Boys. Triangle Boys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye everybody. And I'll post this ASAP. We've done audio and video, YouTube. Follow us. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual chit chat.
We are sponsored by nobody, so if anyone's keen, fucking send us a message.
Yeah.
We'll take anyone.
We take free shit. I will advertise and make videos about literally anything if it's free.
I'm a double XL. You're a tight medium.
Yeah, I'm a medium large. Otherwise, Triangle Boys out. Goodbye.
Triangle Boys.